Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, we are here live at the Church of Satire, 106 Broadway, down here in downtown Hanover, PA. Of course, Tom Nutty is here with me. Matt is here with me. We're going to be talking to Darnell and Jim of Church of Satire shortly, and also David Gilbert will be joining us later on tonight. But first, I want to jump right into, you were telling me a little bit something about you got an email from the Illuminati.
Yes, I did. I'll read it for you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. My phone's over there.
How does
Son of a bitch.
How does one get a message from the Illuminati?
Well,
and why did they choose you? Have they not seen how fucked up this program is? Like,
it's right next to the beer.
The screen was like that before you just dropped it, right?
No, this just happened. I don't know if you can see it. This just happened.
Jesus Christ.
It is what it is.
Oh, my God.
Now I know how single white women feel. That's what's up. All right.
All right, so let's see. How does one get selected by the Illuminati?
Well, I will tell you. And I feel like I should not say the person's name because I don't want to, blow them up. But in their Instagram handle, it is 666.
Oh, we'll
their
call
names.
them Skippy the Llama 666.
That's fucking fine with me. So I get an email. This was Sunday at 3 p.m., typical Illuminati time, that says, based on the criteria of the Illuminati, we find you to be in great interest. Okay.
That means they want to fuck you.
Yeah.
Being in possession of good manual dexterity.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. And academic proficiency.
Did they
I
look up your, like,
fucking
your high
got
school?
a GED.
You are in, sir.
Right. Apparently the Illuminati is hurting during the quarantine.
They have low standards.
So it goes on to tell me that they're going to help me raise to the height of wealth, power, fame, and glory, and that I strongly recommend you join us in the Illuminati Brotherhood, with a question mark. That's how that message ends. So me, being me, all I wrote back was, I am scared you are a lizard person. Followed up by, what do you mean? I said, you know what I mean. That's exactly what a lizard person would say. And then the Illuminati blocked me. So I think I'm onto something here. And that's how I spend Sundays.
So did you ask for, like, any kind of, like, verification? Like, did you ask for his, like, Illuminati ID or something like that? 'Cause this could just be some guy catfishing you as, like, an Illuminati guy.
Bro,
and
that
he's
is
just
a
like, hey, look,
fucking-
I'm going to fuck Tom Nutty. I'm going to pretend I'm the Illuminati.
That is a strong move. And if that is the move, I would probably fall for it. I'll be honest with you. But
It's definitely the FBI fucking with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's gotta be.
I don't know if you remember some episodes ago when that guy was trying to get me to buy.
Oh, it's that guy.
It's probably that same guy. I forget what he was even trying to get me to buy. It was like a bunch of drugs over the internet. It went on for a while with that guy. But
Now I'm just interested what is on your page that's getting
Yeah.
like,
What is
targeted like
yeah.
that.
What exactly makes the Illuminati target Tom Nutty?
look at us, dude. Look at us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a bunch of
I'm a
Chads
little
up here.
upset. I'm very upset that the Illuminati has not reached out to me. All the fucked up things that I have done that I cannot speak of.
Look, man, you can't talk about it. You got to be about it. That's what the Illuminati told me.
And anyways, we're here at the Church of Satire. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and introduce our first two guests, which is Darnell and Jim. They are the runners and operators here at the Church of Satire. And they're going to give us a little bit of a history of this place, and we're going to have a little bit of fun along with it as well.
Keep it. Make some noise for two of my best friends.
You don't have to.
Shh, everybody, calm down.
You can cool it. Why do I feel like I'll keep that comment for a second? I'll hang on to that one for now.
And, of course, guys, I was completely blown away when I came in here. And this place is the shit. Like, I love it. It looks awesome. You guys have a great setup. How did you guys start the Church of Satire? How did all this come to be? And, of course, we're not in a real church. However, it is a church of comedy and fun.
Maybe even of satire.
If only there was a word for all the things he just said.
Potentially. Well, I mean, it started with you. It's your.
Yeah, I mean,
It's your head movie.
it started as like a traveling show. You know,
Okay.
it was just like we were doing with Pat and some other guys. We were doing shows in like we did a show in a vape shop after hours. So that's kind of how it started, man. Like I just wanted there to be comedy in Hanover because that's where I live. I didn't really feel like traveling anymore. So when Darnell and the guys came around, I don't know, that was probably like maybe like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I'd have to guess. I don't know. Time's been kind of like a warped sense of reality the last couple of years. But because you've probably been coming around for like 2 years now at least, right?
Over 3 at this point because I
Yeah,
started
so-
19.
Yeah, so like since then we moved into this club at like the end of 2018, so we had like all 2019, you know, and then 2020 we were like starting to turn a corner, and then whatever happened, you know, and then there's like the void, and then like we just grew as a family, I think, during that time, doing the outdoor shows,
Okay.
you know, like kind of like flip the script a little bit to stay alive, so. And then as that's been going on, like, you know, these guys have taken it on themselves to start running their own shows and producing their own events, setting this up right here. Like, I didn't have anything
we
to do with
appreciate
this.
it highly.
Yeah, no, I was just like, yeah, sure, man. It was, like my involvement was almost nil, you know, and that has a lot to do with the development of these guys, you know, over the last several years.
Okay.
So started as a small idea, you know, and grew into something that, like, without the help of people like these two, it just isn't really happening, you know. But like that's kind of the story, at least for like the inception of the idea. Yeah.
And of course, this building you guys said used to be a sex dungeon. So how was that coming
Well,
into this building?
it also used to be a ladies' fashion store. So let's
So it
not.
went from a ladies' fashion store.
It was.
It's had quite the history.
Yeah.
So much
those
so, in
things-
fact, that like I didn't know that last part.
Those things
That's
may
a
not be
That's a
mutually
surprise
exclusive.
to me.
Sex dungeon after hours.
Yeah, that means that it's probably currently being used as one by Tom.
Whoa.
So if you guys are ever hearing, you just hear faint screams. Yeah, you know what? That's why the Illuminati has selected Tom.
Exactly.
Because they want to go down to Tom's sex dungeon.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man.
give
I
you a
got
tour.
one of those emails too, man. You were saying that, and I was like, whoa.
It's a little crazy.
Yeah, I got one. I don't know
See,
why.
now, did you get one from the actual Illuminati or the cool, like, Marvel Illuminati that has, like,
Well,
Professor X and, like, all that shit?
Well, Tom read it. I didn't read it. I was like, that's probably got like kitty porn in it or something. Like, I'm not opening that.
All that guy had to do was feed me like 3 compliments, and I
Yeah.
was like, fuck yeah, I am manually dexteric. You
No,
know what I
it's-
mean?
I think
Fuck
it's
yeah.
still on bold in my trash. But I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, but I didn't read it. I should have read it. It sounds like maybe it's like camp.
Sounds like a good time, honestly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to let me know. I haven't emptied my trash, so if it
Well,
works out, I'll go and I'll open it. Nevertheless, sorry about that.
No.
I digress.
No. You're good, man. But no, like, have you guys ever thought of doing a sex dungeon themed comedy show? Like,
I don't
like-
think that we legally can. I think that we have we have contractually agreed to. I don't want to give too much baseball away, but we're contractually obligated to not conduct any lewd or lascivious acts as defined by pretty strong contract language.
Yeah.
So I'm brushing up on contracts in my lawyer course.
Now, of
Hell
course,
yeah.
you guys have people that live above. Now, what if you do this? What if you have them do the sex dungeon, and everybody can just go upstairs and just visit?
There's like cats. you know.
There's a 50-50 chance. I'm
Have you
into
ever
it.
gotten
That's what's
complaints
holding
from the
us back.
tenants upstairs
Yeah,
about?
yeah, we have. But there, there's been a feeling out process. Let's be honest here. It's periodic noise at specified times. It's always happening between like 8 and 10 o'clock. It is a commercial space, so it's like, what do you? I could be open like a diner all fucking day long.
Yeah.
You know, like what if you worked overnight? What's the difference? You know, so I think that for the most part, like everyone's come to like a common agreement. We get along with the tenants, but like I know in the beginning, the person was kind of like, "Yeah, what the fuck is this?" Like it's been quiet here forever. Like this is crazy. Because if you think about it, like we're cranking music from like 7 till 8 o'clock more or less, and then there's like lots of yelling and screaming and fucks and cocks and dicks, and all measure of depraved fucking nonsense being screamed downstairs, and then we spin music again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
They're
they
just
probably still think it's a sex dungeon.
Yeah. They're like, there's definitely still sex.
Definitely still sex
A
going
lady
on
shows
out
up. She's like, "Are there any clothes here for me to buy?" Like, I don't understand.
there.
Yeah,
Well,
merchandise is in the front. Bitch.
There are clothes here for you to buy, lady, but they're all on me.
Yeah, we sell merch too. They can buy
Oh
that.
yeah,
They can buy that
we
stuff.
do sell merch.
You know?
Yeah, buy the merch.
Yeah,
Buy
that's
the
the
merch.
only clothing that we're selling. Yeah, not a real church. Like, don't come in. You know, when we first opened, I don't know, it was like right when we first opened, it was like February. It was freezing outside. It was like really, really cold, as you would expect in February. And while we were like doing an open mic or something, it was back when it was called Zero Profits, which is exactly what it produced. It fucking, an old man wandered in off the street.
Like a homeless man.
Like a hobo, like wandered in off the street and was like really cold. Nah, it wasn't you. He was older than you. He wandered in off the street, and like we were concerned for him. He was like shivering and shit. So we like let him sit down. He like hung out in the back. He was like watching the show.
It's
We,
really
like,
fucking walked.
yeah, we
Disney
gave him like
unfrozen.
warm water. We were like concerned for this guy. It was like, where'd this guy come from? You know. Anyway, then his daughter came in like all pissed off. She parked at the hot dog shop, and he like fucking wandered away and came over here. I'm like, I don't know what he was thinking, but he like came in, and she was like, what are you doing? I was like, lady, you need to keep track of your dad, man. Like I got run over, dude. Like you're yelling at me. It's crazy.
You need to
Anyway.
keep track of your old people if you're elderly.
Yeah. So like we're not a real church, but like we're not gonna turn folks away.
Yeah, we're still pretty good to people. You know. Yeah.
We can be
Yeah.
a soup kitchen if we want to be a soup
Yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah.
No food. No food.
No.
Bring your own food. Bring your own beer.
We'll give you hot water.
Yeah.
We'll give you.
That was back when we gave cups. Now you'd be kind of fucked if you didn't have your own cup.
Yeah.
We have these
We'll put
mugs that
hot
are for
water-
sale.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
do.
he'd have to work it off, though. I didn't get the impression he had any money.
We'll put hot water on you.
Have you guys ever had to eject anybody out of here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happened.
Yeah.
What was
Are-
that like?
Were you here for it?
Which
Do-
I don't think so.
No.
Possible. I think I would remember
It's
it.
happened a few times, I think, since we've opened.
Most of the time, people, like, if you just tell them to chill out.
We
They
try to
chill out,
regulate.
you know?
Like, I know you're in
Right.
the showroom, I've been out in the showroom. I was accosted in my seat, actually.
I was just getting ready to ask if we could tell that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful. It's an awful
It's not.
story.
It's not as awful
Did
as you
the
think.
old man come back and just be like,
No.
all right, look,
No,
he just
no,
put his
no.
arm around
Well,
you. He's
if
like,
he-
all right,
if-
look, Jim.
yeah, I mean, if he came back,
I
don't-
appreciate all the things you did for me.
Yeah,
you can't
I
have
don't-
my
yeah,
daughter,
I don't
but you can have
remember if he
me.
came back or not, but I hope he did. I don't know. I don't think his daughter was gonna fucking let him come back. She was upset. She was upset that we had the gall to take care of the guy. You know? Like, what does that tell you about a person?
This was supposed to be his final walk.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, you're not. You guys were supposed to be closed. So
I was gonna find him here tomorrow and cry.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know what? Well, forget her, man. If that was her motivation to kill that poor guy, he was laughing at the right parts of the jokes. He was still doing all right. Just a little confused, whatever.
A little bit of ice hanging off his nose.
Yeah, those little boogies, you know.
And that's how we met Pat.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Nah, but
guy.
yeah, we've dealt with a few. I don't know. When was the last time you threw somebody out?
It's been a while. It was I think it was last summer.
Who was a headliner? That's how I remember it.
See, I don't know. The last one I can recall, I think Steven Rogers was here, and we had an entire altercation in the back of the room
Oh.
that almost became
With
physical.
Captain America.
No, not Steve Rogers. Steven Rogers.
How did that happen?
Huh?
Why don't I remember this? Stephen Rogers is like the most benign
I was just thinking that
playful,
like it's
clean comedian.
Yeah, I know, but I think it was in response to maybe how this guest was behaving during the feature comic. I think the feature comic was well, no, because
Peter.
Peter's always been out with Steven. I don't know. Somebody took issue with a female comic here one night, a lady comedian, if you will, and
a person of comedy.
right. Them of the satire.
Yeah, to be politically correct.
They them of satire. But there was a vocal male yelling bitch toward the stage.
Bitch.
That was the night that Pat had asked the gentleman to leave, and he stood up and.
Wow.
You don't remember this?
Not yet.
I mean, I only remember half of
I mean,
it.
it's.
If I'm being honest.
Jim's like, I don't ever remember yelling bitch to somebody on stage.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come back to me. I mean, was I here? Was I here?
You were definitely here.
Yeah.
Well, I think what had happened is typically in these scenarios is we make Pat the old guy approach people because he's old.
Well, and he's a skilled crisis interventionist with lots of experience.
Oh shit.
You know, he
is.
He's
underselling.
He is an old goat for sure.
And
but
he speaks in big words that no one
well-
understands. So when people get aggressive, he confuses them.
yeah, well, and
makes
dude,
sense. That makes
Pat worked in psychiatric services for like 25 years. So like coming up on shit like that, like his heart don't really miss a beat. Like he can approach it calm, which is kind of really like what needs to happen. Like if somebody gets in there too brazen with somebody that's already being an asshole, like you may as well just walk up and slap his beer out of his hand like it's fighting time. You know?
And that's why I walk behind Pat. And typically we send somebody around. I think you had gone through the shop side and come in the front door. So we kind of flank the situation.
It's a tactical
It's
response.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Darnell's
because-
just behind Pat. You need to go. You need to go.
Well,
Reach your-
I'm there in case it gets physical because Pat's back is bad.
You can follow Pat's Bad Back on Instagram.
Yes, Pat has a bad back. Pat's back is bad. Follow Bad Back Pat.
Damn, you got through that good.
Thanks. And so I'm there in case somebody snaps Pat like a twig. You know what I
Folds
mean?
him like a pretzel.
You could do it. You could do it for sure. But I've never had a physical altercation.
we've been pretty fortunate. I mean, I think physically we haven't had too many tussles to worry about.
No.
Right.
I think you have been sexually assaulted more than we've had physical
Yes.
altercations.
Well, let's hear about This is what
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
This used to be a sex dungeon, and you have been
Yeah.
sexually assaulted in
Yeah.
this building.
Well, yeah. We had a couple of older ladies. And when I say older, I mean like I was like when they came in, they was drunk.
In the
and-
mature category.
Yeah. Like,
Right.
Not
Cougars.
seniors, not
Cougars.
seniors.
No.
Little,
No.
a little older,
no,
little
no,
more
no.
mature. Keep
Yeah.
going.
they were the Cougars' moms. Dude.
Yeah.
Name
I'm
an
kinda
older
old.
cat.
Yeah, I'm
The
kinda
old homeless guy's sisters.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say like they got a free breakfast at like Denny's or something.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah,
when-
for the
when they-
last decade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
They was drunk and
so
I
you're
was
talking about a
like,
saber-toothed tiger almost.
yeah, long
Yeah.
in the tooth.
Yeah.
Man. You said it, dude. They was drunk grannies. When they came in, I was like, this is a couple grandmas that's like drunk, like ready to,
Yeah.
like grannies to me. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Grandmas
in my
like to fuck
40s,
too,
you
man.
know. So anyway, they came in and they were very, very like loud and they were just constantly disrupting the show. And like, so I came out and I kind of was like, can you guys like kindly shut up? Like this is ridiculous.
Hey, bitch, shut up.
Like I couldn't be like that even if I tried. Like it, I was just like, like pipe down. Like what the fuck
I
is
think you
wrong with
messed
you?
up when you sat down next to
Yeah.
him to talk to him.
Well, that was exactly
trying not to
it.
disrupt them.
Well, what
you
happened
know?
was I sat down because I was like, I'm gonna model appropriate behavior, like because they were like, oh, we're so sorry, like, are we being loud? Because when they came in, they were like, we've never been to a comedy show, and I was like, fucking great, right?
That's
So-
exactly what we want to hear.
Yeah, so part
Neither
of it
have I.
was like part of it while it was happening, I was like, all right, like I guess I kind of forecasted this shit. They came in drunk. They were like, we've never been to an event like this. So I sat down to be like, it's all right. This is what you do. Like you sit down and you shut the fuck up. And the one lady like next to me, she just like reached over with this like ferocious like eagle talon and just like
It's arthritis.
rammed my cock and balls.
Holy shit!
Like really, like really.
If you need to demonstrate,
Yeah, no, I know. I was in his fucking vector, and he was like, "Holy shit, he's gonna grab my balls! Holy shit, he's gonna grab my balls!" But
It's like Agnes, we're gonna have to get nasty.
yeah, I'm
Tom,
trying
you
to.
can check my pulse and breathing a little heavy.
I'm trying to relive as little of this as possible. I didn't bring this up, you know.
Darnell's trying to
She hit you
relive as
so hard
much
the
as
powder
possible.
flies off of her
Yeah,
hand.
it hurt. Like it hurt. Like it took my breath away, dude.
Damn.
And it gets worse.
Was it the kind of thing where you didn't know if you wanted to come or cry? Like,
No, I was paralyzed. I was paralyzed. Like when she did it, I was like, she learned this in some fucking jungle
Krav
temple.
Maga.
You know, like she learned how to just like,
Crotch McGrath.
She
Yeah.
was Crotch McGrath.
yeah. She could have picked me up, I think, and
Goddamn.
just been like, I got this
She just
motherfucker.
parades you. She just parades you around the
Yeah,
place.
she could have used me to
Honestly,
wipe
dude,
windows down.
None of that sounds terrible at all to me.
Yeah. Well, wait, I'm not done. So, like,
Good,
as
it gets better.
yeah,
I'm
as
all in.
it's all about perspective, I guess. But as she's got me, and I'm kind of like, oh my god, I even told her, I was like, you're being extremely inappropriate, right? Like
That's what I
looked-
planned on,
I looked
Sonny.
she took it. You looked right at me, and then fucking took her like Brillo old lady fucking head.
She took her wig off.
And no, she took it and rubbed her head in my mouth.
What, was it?
dude.
Was it like that weird, like when old women first leave like the beauty shop and like their hair is so done you can see through
Yeah.
their hair because it's so.
Yeah, it was hard. It's hard to fucking even explain what it was like, you know. It was just hair until it was like in my mouth, eyes, and nose, and then it was like I'd fallen into a fucking rhododendron bush.
It's like you're
You
blowing Bigfoot at that point.
I didn't know. And mind you, this whole time she has still firm grasp of my entire gender. She never let up at all. Dude, it was like a vice.
And there's a live show happening
Yeah, oh, yeah.
during this. Like, this didn't disrupt the live show at all.
No, well, she was finally shut her up, I guess.
She got what she wanted.
Jim's trying to be quiet because he wants to let out a scream, but he can't.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. Like, I understood how everyone in every horror movie ever, where you're like, why are you? I was like, holy shit! Like, my brain was turned off. It was a horrible experience. And then when I walked away from it, and these guys will tell you, man, like I was like having a hard time articulating what had happened to me. I was like, I'm not really sure what just
We
happened.
gave him a doll, and he was like, "Ah."
Everybody I did tell started laughing, to where I was just like, oh man, who am I going to tell this story to? Like, the last 4 people have been like, that's hilarious. And I'm just like, I'm physically like, I'm in so much pain. I had hair in my mouth. It's just awful.
Well, I'm sorry you went through that.
Yeah, I appreciate
Did you get their
that.
number at all? Like,
No, I didn't. I tell you what, I'd fucking remember if I seen her. I tell you that.
Someone should find a
So
photo
will
of her
she.
and post it in your office and on all of your computer screens. So
Yeah,
that way
dude. Oh my god. Oh
you
my
relive
god.
the horror over and
We
over.
just got him to start watching Golden Girls again.
Yeah.
He was so happy when Betty White died. He's like, I'm so happy this bitch
Yeah.
wrote.
Yeah, one less. One less.
One less to sexually
The world
assault
is
me.
a safer place.
Yeah, same thing. Queen went down. I was like, one less.
And of course, you guys aren't a real church, so there's never going to be an instance where the Pope will ever show up here. However,
"You don't know that." We do.
Open
We
mics
do.
every Monday, dude.
Open mic Nitro every Monday at 8. 16 spots available. 5 minutes of comedy.
Guaranteed spot to the Pope if he
where's
shows.
the camera at? Where's the camera? Consider it an open invitation to the Pope to come here. Yeah,
It's an
absolutely.
open invitation
These
to
are
any of you
these are
motherfuckers.
actual church pews.
Yes.
These church pews have the blessing of an actual pastor. to be used. I let the pastor know that there would be horrible things said in this room. Sometimes they would be things said about Jesus.
Yeah.
Horrible things, possibly. It's not for me to determine. And he was fine with it. The pastor was okay with it. So, so the Pope could walk in here right now, and I would not burst into flames.
Would I be wrong to say that every Pope that we have had is just, he looks like a terrifying human being? Like, you look into his face, and it's like, I'd rather look into the face of the Wendigo than look into the face of one of the popes. Like, no, without question, the hikers that go missing in these national parks are being gathered up and just fed to the Pope for him to just fuck as a lizard person.
You're talking about the Pope and his face, but the Pope isn't on TV that much, and we don't have to see his face. I think the scarier face is Jimmy Savile. What a fucked up mug, right? and to be volunteering and fucking sedating people, and just that's the face that you gotta stare at 1,000 yards at. You see what I mean? Like the Pope probably doing some of that diddling too, but you know, in a confessional booth where maybe you're not all that scared by the face. But
Still invited, Pope.
Yeah, the Pope sent Tom Nutty that email. That's what it is.
He is the Illuminati.
Because that is the Illuminati. Yeah. Vatican.
I'm not even convinced the Pope's real.
That's the
all you need to do is reach out to Scarlet Witch. She took care of Illuminati. Spoiler for any of you who haven't seen Multiverse of Madness, by the way.
Yeah, any nerds out there.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
And what we're going to do, we're going to get into one of our fucked up news stories real quick. So let me pull out my phone. I'm going to try not to drop it on the floor and break it like Tom Nutty did with his.
Can I just say real quick, I noticed in the back earlier, Tom was eating flies. Is that notable after the lizard people thing that he went to or read?
Maybe he did join the Illuminati.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did.
Like his tongue wasn't, but he was catching them and just.
That's probably what they meant by the academics.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think he was just so excited by the story Jim just told with him having his balls taloned by Betty White that,
Maybe I was just hungry, motherfucker. God damn.
All right, so Nigerian officials intercept 7,000 smuggled donkey penises at an international airport after a smell from the sacks aroused suspicion.
What a good word to use in that. Whoever wrote that deserves
See,
a fucking high five.
Yeah,
and also I've been waiting on them, so that makes sense. Go on. Thanks for the update.
Nigerian officials have intercepted 7,000 donkey penises at an international airport after the smell from the packages aroused suspicion. The donkey penises were being smuggled to Hong Kong in 16 sacks, but customs officers at Malarota Mohammed Airport in the Nigerian city of Lagos intercepted the packages. It says the customs controller at the airport told BBC that the animal parts were found in sacks in an animal export section. So pretty much somebody was sending someone a bunch of sack of dicks. Like, you ever tell someone to eat a sack of dicks? Like, that's pretty much what.
That's extreme, though. That's fucking extreme.
That's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, that's how you keep your dick hard. You know what I mean? Donkey dick tea.
Like, what happens if, like,
Donkey
you just
dick tea? What? I've never heard of that. But
you open your front door and there's a sack there, and you pull it up, you open it up, and there's just donkey dicks. Just all in a sack. Like, at that point,
I'll let you field this question.
What else would you do?
You drive to the store, you buy hot dog rolls. That's what you do.
He's like, edible arrangements, anyone?
You go to the store, you buy hot dog rolls, you buy ketchup, you buy brown mustard, and you buy lube. I can't fit all these in my stomach.
That way you can eat the hot dogs while you use the donkey dicks.
Yeah.
Now imagine the pissed off person that ordered all those donkey cocks.
See, I think you're giving too much credit to this. Like, you're acting like there's a donkey dick website. I think this is some underground Illuminati shit.
Well, you would know. You're a part of the Illuminati now, obviously.
Shit.
How many? You said there was 7,000.
7,000. That's a lot of donkey. So do they eyeball these donkeys
that's
and
a lot
like?
of fucking work.
That's a
is
lot
what
of
that
dickless
is.
donkeys.
Yeah.
It's a lot, yeah. I'm saying that's a lot of work. Whoever job that was.
I mean,
It
who
is.
has that job? Whose job is it to cut off a donkey's dick? Like, imagine having that.
Well, that person's probably
Their
like
arm is tired.
all for nothing.
Yeah.
You know? Now they're in the fucking the custody locker at the police office. Like, what a lousy place for donkey dicks to wind up. You know.
Imagine the fucking the fucking slave master walked by was all like, "How many donkey dicks did you cut off today?"
Oh my
And
god.
seeing if they met their quota.
Well, I mean, now that they got
It's
taken
like
at customs,
was that movie Blood Diamond? It's Blood Donkey.
He's hiding like the donkey dick between his toes so he doesn't fucking see him smuggling it out. He's got the rare purple donkey dick.
so this guy is out of a job now. So imagine him applying for a job. He applies for Royal Farms, and they're looking at his resume, and they're like, "So, you used to remove donkey dicks, I see."
They would hire the fuck out of him.
They'd be like, "Would you like to be a manager?"
They were like, actually, yeah, you're a little overqualified for this job,
Yeah.
but
Would you like to run the fryers?
right.
Do you have any food safe certifications?
It's just like that fucking bench warmers when it's got the birth certificate that says I am 12. But it's just a piece of paper that says food safe on it.
Oh my god.
That's a crazy story,
And
man.
speaking of us dropping our phones, of course, I put on the ad. I wanted to bring up Lilly from AT&T. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lilly from AT&T, but 100%, like chef's kiss. That chick is just beautiful.
Isn't she that lady that says she hates when people talk about her like this?
I don't know. I really don't know. But if
That's
she
Flo,
is,
dude.
then I hope she's not
think-
watching live because
I think it is.
yeah.
I think it
But
is.
like that's the thing. It's like you see all these commercials of her all happy, cheery, and the cell phone store. But what happens when it's not busy? Like I kind of feel like that. Like she kind of looks at these phones and she's just kind of like, well, if I put all these on vibrate, like I feel like a phone gangbang could potentially happen with her in the store. Like she sets them all for a timer.
Hey,
Like you can
hey,
buzz your phone from your watch.
Fucking spoiler alert, Ray. She doesn't really sell phones.
Stop pissing on my dreams, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. That AT&T store,
He's like, man.
it's kind of only half a store. Right?
Right.
It's-
Come to think of it, I don't think there's anyone ever in those fucking stores.
Hey, look.
Just
Man,
Look,
just
they're
two,
just empty.
just 2 or 3 key grips walking in the background to make it look normal.
Just Lily selling phones
Yeah.
like they found her doing her day job.
They just walk in the back and they're like, man, she has a phone in her ass and her pussy and 2 of them in her mouth. Like, and they're all vibrating. What the hell's happening
it's
right now?
fucking 5G, dog.
So if she were to come up to one of you guys and she's like, I will have sex with you. However, I am going to have a phone shoved in my ass the entire time. Are you saying yes?
As long as it's an iPhone. You know what I mean? I'll fuck with them droids. I don't want to be having sex and get a green text. Gross.
I gotta say no. I won't have sex if there's a phone in the room next door.
Yeah, I'm not competing with a phone
I'm totally saying yes.
in someone's ass.
Have you seen some? My phone is 6.7 inches long. Okay,
Hell
I
yeah.
don't know. Look, and it's a couple of inches wide. Yeah, it's kind of thick. It's definitely
Cumbersome.
right.
It's cumbersome.
Right.
I
You
mean,
know what
you
I mean?
can fit 2 raccoons in your ass securely before anything,
Okay.
happens.
Is that a?
It's a scientific
it's a
fact.
scientific
It's a
thing,
scientific fact, yes.
What science?
Run it back, Ray. He said,
Two.
So
All
wait
right.
till you hear this.
we,
Okay,
we
so
actually
I
talked
love-
about this on the show that
Okay.
scientists found out that you could actually, your asshole can expand to safely secure 2 raccoons in your ass.
Okay, what do you
Before-
mean safely? Because I've put.
Wait,
I
so
have-
have you put a raccoon in your ass?
I have not put a raccoon in my ass, but I've put objects smaller than my fist in my ass and almost had a prolapse. So, what do you mean safely 2 raccoons, right? How safe is this? Because if my anus falls out and dies, I die, and that's not safe, Ray.
Well, I think the safest way will probably be if they're dead first. So you probably have to murder these raccoons first and then shove them in there.
In pieces?
You might have to murder him too.
Right.
Have a third person.
I would imagine they were trying to.
Okay, let me ask this question. Maybe I heard you, I listened to you read that other news story earlier, so maybe you're misunderstanding this one. Are they trying to tell you that your asshole can stretch wide enough for 2 raccoons to fit in it, or are they just talking overall cubic feet of raccoon to asshole space, right?
I believe
That
it is
is
the
now a new-
second one. Like raccoon to
Okay,
asshole
cubic
space.
feet. Right.
Yes.
So my insides could fit 2 raccoons,
Yes.
but how they get there may kill me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That is now a new measurement. Ass to raccoon ratio.
Yeah, I was gonna
Well-
say, like, just a couple years ago, I had to shoot a raccoon in my garage. and
Oh, I'm sorry, little guy.
Yeah.
Dude.
and,
And then the porn music kicks on. You're like, yeah.
yeah, dude, like it. There's no fucking way that that's going in anyone's asshole. Like I don't care who you are, dude. If you could have worn it as like a shawl, it was that big. It could have. So you know.
Right. These
like,
are big, and these
Yeah.
are large. These are not like
Yeah.
donkey dick sized animals. You know what I mean? These are full size
I think
small
I think the,
bears.
I think they were more talking about the opening, not like fitting the whole raccoon in. Like, you know what I mean?
What?
Like, you don't need to put the
I
whole
visualized
raccoon in
putting
your
the whole
ass.
raccoon in.
Yeah,
Jesus.
he said it could stretch far enough to accommodate 2 full size
Yeah,
raccoons.
no way, man.
I think
And we even had a porn star say that, okay? So
Well,
Well,
Fuck
all right.
yeah.
She confirmed it.
Yeah,
she said
she
it.
confirmed
She did it right
Well,
there.
All right, hear me out. She's a professional, so maybe she can do that.
And she's using like Hollywood trained animals. You know, it's fucking
Right.
different.
Right.
yeah.
I bet we could find a mirror or 2 in her asshole that's kind of maybe just reflecting a second raccoon.
It's
to
like
trick-
a fun
this is
house. It's like a fun house inside her ass.
This is Hollywood fuckery inside of this lady's
There's 11
asshole right now.
raccoons in here.
It's only 1 raccoon, but a 4 prism mirror.
you just see a little hand just reach out of her, just reach out of her anus.
Yeah, a porn star definitely has an unfair advantage going into this.
Right.
You know?
Well,
they
I
get in
mean-
her asshole, and then raccoons, it's just like, it just let Snoopy's doghouse in here. Like, is that a ceiling fan? Holy shit.
Now, you shot the raccoon, and meanwhile, the raccoon's probably downstairs in the sex dungeon. Just
No,
waiting.
burned it. Burned the raccoon. Yeah,
So
burned it.
how
Yeah.
quickly did you burn it? Did you burn it immediately, or did it just kind
Yeah,
of?
pretty quickly.
Right before he shot it.
No, I mean,
Are we sure this isn't the guy that hurt Skippy the llama?
hey man, raccoon in my garage killed a couple of my rabbits.
Oh,
you know.
okay,
I'm
okay.
not- you know, it wasn't like I didn't enjoy it. You know, like I made eye contact with the fucking thing before I killed it. For God's sake, like I carry the weight of its life with me still to this fucking day.
You make eye contact. He's like, "That's right, bitch.
yeah.
I killed your fucking
Yeah,
rabbits."
It was
We
like, you know
deserved
what?
it
Get your own gun, then, motherfucker. You know. So,
Got
I mean,
thumbs.
like it sucked, but you know, those things have rabies and shit. There's only so many things you can do with that fucking animal. So, you know, I live out in the farms, light it on fire.
You know, you made a good point about that raccoon being unarmed. If guns are so easy to get, why didn't that raccoon have a gun?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, clearly, I'm a man of privilege. You know?
Right.
Because he didn't stand a chance, but you know, it is what it is.
Hold on. We still are talking about raccoons, right?
Oh yeah.
Just to be sure.
Yeah, I believe I pronounced the first 2 letters of that word very carefully to make sure they got out there.
We must
It
be careful
doesn't
to say
matter what
PC
you
here.
feel in your heart when you talk with a southern accent and look like I do. You know what I mean? So, some words I have to enunciate. You know what I mean?
Okay, just be clear.
Speaking of that, on our drive here, I
Speaking of
swear to
that.
God, we drove through 1980 at some point. Like at some point, we went from 2022 to 1980 back to 2022 as we were driving here.
At least you missed 1960. You actually could have went through 1950 also.
Could have went through a lot.
But you did go through 1844.
Yeah.
We were just waiting to hear. Yeah, he wrote a book. Yeah.
It was,
Oh,
it was
gosh.
based on the raccoon climbing
Yes.
on someone's ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then being shot and burned.
It came back from dead.
It crawls out of somebody's ass. Jim's like, no, motherfucker. Oh,
Like Terminator when it's like half burnt.
I
and
didn't
shit,
use a
just-
handgun, by
This
the
is
way.
a movie we can make.
Right. He wanted to make sure he killed it.
Did you use a bazooka, like,
No,
or
no,
a mini
no,
gun? Like,
I got a 22, man. It's like, you know.
I
It's,
thought he went gangster and was all like,
no.
Dead
I
raccoon.
used the
Damn.
I used the fucking Predator gun. The one fucking what's oh my gosh,
what-
Jesse the Body's gun from the Predator.
like a
man.
flintlock or some shit.
Raccoon takes out a couple of rabbits you're seeing in predator vision.
Yeah, dude. You know, actually did me
Shot
a
with a-
favor.
Shot with
truthfully.
a fucking musket.
You know.
So
You're gonna stuff it till you're
you
gonna
also,
get
I
it.
saw online, you have chickens as well.
Yeah, a
So
lot
do you
of-
have
yeah.
like chickens, rabbits? Do you have like a whole? Like,
Yeah, I got all kinds of farm animals in
Now,
my place.
It made me think at some point. Of course, when people jerk off, they always have the saying choking the
Oh.
chicken, and I'm like, what's the evolution of that? Like, did somebody look at a chicken? Like, was there like a serial chicken killer going around and
Yeah, choking chickens and jerking off.
yeah, like just choking,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he just starts jerking off in prison, the same way that he's
Choking
strangled
the
these
chicken.
chickens.
I don't know. I have we have a couple of they're called naked
He
neck
gets pretty wild with
chickens at my place, and
Yeah.
they're called naked neck chickens.
Naked
And,
Naked.
and they actually look exactly like dicks.
Yeah.
It's really weird. They're like they're. Yeah, no, they look like human white guy dicks. You
Well, they're
know?
not very tall then.
4
Yeah.
inches long.
Yeah, they're
Sad.
they're like long and skinny and shit. And, yeah, they're really fuck. You guys have seen them. You've been there. Yeah, they're a weird looking animal.
I
mean,
thought
maybe-
something was wrong with them because I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about chickens, you know. And all the other chickens look normal, and then there's just fucking like 2 of them running around with no
Yeah.
feathers on their head. I was
Well,
like, what
and
the fuck? Or
I'll,
their neck.
I'll say this: other than the beak, it's just like having a cock in your mouth.
That's how you eat them from the head down. Just
Right.
fucking-
Yeah, well, yeah, that explains why there's only 2 of them. I started with 4 of them.
It's like sucking a dick and getting a.
Fucking Darnell was like, hey, I'm gonna take a couple of these home with me. I think. Right?
Hey, little buddy.
Set it and forget it.
Right?
Jim makes the chickens watch him shoot the raccoon, and then he's like, when times are tough.
Yeah,
That's gonna
hey,
be you.
That's what I tell you. You know, I tell them all the time. You fucking stop laying eggs. You know, I'll find other use for you. You know?
Yeah.
Stop laying eggs, you're gonna end up like the raccoon.
We'll just eat you. I will say, if there wasn't a concern about rabies, smelled delicious on the fire. Surprisingly delicious.
Don't you just have to cook it to like 165 degrees?
I don't know. I mean, I had no intention of eating it. I was just like, Jesus Christ, it smells like York Fair, you know? It was, yeah.
I think I probably would have tried to put it on a rotisserie thing.
Yeah,
over
yeah.
the
I mean, if
fire.
you was going to actually consume it, like, I just threw it in a heap of fucking fire.
Maybe-
You know, I was just looking at it. But you can't knock the smell, man. And it's like, you know, if times are tough, if times get that tough, like, I know for a fact I can eat a fucking raccoon now. If it gets difficult enough.
Right? Just get out there with a meat thermometer.
Yeah, you're from Tennessee, so, like, you probably had it.
I've had muskrat.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It's just a southern raccoon, dude.
Yeah.
It's not even southern. No, you get them on the eastern shore of Maryland,
Yeah.
Delaware.
They can just swim.
Yeah, they're just wet rodents.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, it's tasty. It smelled fucking, dude, it smelled delicious. And then, like, the only animal on the fire was the raccoon. It wasn't like I was burning something else by mistake or some shit, you know? Like a chicken was on there getting burnt up. It was all right.
Someone
neighbors
said your
come out.
neighbors are like, is he making his own chickens?
How
What's-
would,
I
how
don't
would
have
you,
neighbors, though. That's part of the benefit of it all, living where I live. There's no neighbors. Otherwise, you know, I don't think you can just be fucking burning raccoons in your backyard.
How would you serve a raccoon? Right? Because like a muskrat is served on a plate, just like the rib cage and some other little bones. But
Oh,
like
raccoon's
how-
fingers, all that, dude.
right, like legs, like do you just tie it up like a turkey?
Nah,
and
you
just
prop that shit up by a
Right.
fucking cake piano.
I mean, at that point, do you wear like a little raccoon hat while you're like feasting on this little raccoon?
Like Davy Crockett or
Yeah,
something.
like Davy Crockett or some
Yeah,
shit.
you gotta.
right,
Yeah, there's gotta be some pomp and circumstance if you're eating a fucking raccoon.
right.
It's troubling times. Troubling times.
Okay, but would you guys eat a skunk?
I think I would eat a skunk.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
No.
Have you eaten
No.
one?
No. I would like to have a skunk as a pet and have it de-skunked? Because they're allegedly
I heard
very
they're really
soft.
good pets.
I have one at my house. Literally, it lives under my porch. And I drove you past
Is
my
it
house. You drove
de-skunked?
past my house
Yeah.
today. There's a skunk that lives under my porch.
Oh well, now you have a project. You can catch that skunk for Darnell.
How do
Front
we
porch.
de-skunk it?
I don't know.
There's
just
got to
keep-
be a forum for it, just
I
like
just-
a Honda.
Look, I just keep letting my cat out and hoping she handles it.
She's gonna get sprayed, man.
That's fine. She's an old girl. She'll be all right.
Dude.
She might get sprayed, but that skunk is going to get killed.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
dude. I heard they're pretty nasty. Fucking skunks can be mean and shit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that I'd eat a skunk if it's still got that gland in it. I don't know. I feel
Right.
like you don't want to buy cards at a car accident or some shit. I don't know if I'd eat a skunk.
You go to eat part of the skunk and you hit it by
Yeah,
accident.
like what if you ate
spray
that
it?
shit? Like
Ugh.
my dog got sprayed by a skunk, and like my fucking house stank for a month.
Oh,
He got
Jesus
sprayed
Christ.
outside, dude. Like he
Jesus.
just and we cleaned him quick. He came in the house, ran around in a circle, jumped on the couch, and my house stank for a month. Fuck that shit. Could you imagine if you ate that? If you ate the
Right.
bag that.
And he's just like,
Oh my god, it's a horrible smell.
Jim's just like, however, when I cooked it in the fire after I shot it, it smelled
Yeah,
amazing.
no, I haven't had a problem with any skunks, dude. I mean, that one time my dog got sprayed with it, but I don't see a lot of them. You know, I see him dead in the road and shit all the time. I know some people do keep them as pets,
Right.
but oh my god, could you imagine if it fucking sprayed?
Right.
Imagine if it's not de-skunked and it sleeps in the bed with you.
No
You're
way,
just,
dude.
You're just sleeping.
I'm
And
going
that
to
thing
sleep with a
decides.
fucking hand grenade.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That thing's like, oh,
Right.
bitch, you want to roll over?
It's gotta be de-smelled, I think. It's gotta.
Oh, yeah, you go in there, there's like a skunk gangbang going on in your house. Like,
Right.
they're all ready to spray.
No.
They're all fucking stinking up. the
We
place.
got to do the skunk smell delete on this one. Yeah. No.
Turns out
I
to
think,
just be a
Dave,
skunk.
like Dave would. I think Dave, you've killed skunk before, haven't you? Yeah, Dave's killed a lot. I feel like Dave's a hunter. Like, yeah. You killed your dog? That dog smelled amazing when I couldn't throw it in the fire.
Look. Times are tough, okay? Times are tough. Gotta do what you
This
gotta
is
do.
the People's Republic of my fucking house, and we need food. I will eat dog. Ah.
She's offering you as a trade, dude.
Yeah.
You just never bring your dog in.
Yeah, here,
your
you
dog.
take this. We want the puppy.
Right. Like one day he's gonna catch on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're like, what's that dog need them wishes for? You know?
Luckily for you, my dog's name is General So.
Dumb.
I
Dog
can't
gonna
bring you
do?
my dog. I rescued him from the National Dog Meat Festival.
Oh Jesus.
Well, guess what? He's gonna be dog meat now.
Fuck is a dog gonna do with affirmations? You know?
He's in it for the lucky numbers, dude.
And she's like, I hope this dog chokes on this piece of wrapping paper inside all these shitty fucking cookies.
Shit.
You know? I like how they'd be like, you gotta eat the cookie in order for the fucking fortune to come true. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. You know?
I still do that.
Nah, it don't matter.
Wait,
Dream-
you gotta eat the cookie? I always just
Nah.
I always just rip it open, take the fortune out, and then just
Nah,
throw the
man.
cookie
Yeah,
on the
well,
table.
how happy are you?
Not very.
Yeah, you out there like naming shit happy in order to make up for it. You know?
I mean, yeah, I want it to be the kind of thing where you open a fortune cookie and it's like, today you will die, and it's like, all right, I've been waiting
Yeah.
for this moment my
Nah.
entire life.
Nah,
Like,
just
let's do
don't
this.
eat the cookie and it won't happen.
Right.
It'll be fine. They're terrible. They're awful cookies. They're not even cookies. They're not even fucking cookies.
I think they're delicious.
But they're not cookies.
I don't care
I
what
heard
they
they
are.
were made out of the same shit they make those
Amazon
little ice-
boxes?
They make the ice cream cones out of, like those little
Yeah,
cones you would get as a kid. I heard
sure.
they're made out of the same
Whatever
shit.
they are,
I don't know.
fucking
Yeah,
give them all
and
to
the
me.
fucking chicken is chicken. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I
Nope.
don't remember
take,
fucking.
Take the fortune out and give me the cookie. I don't need that shit to come true. Not all of them.
And what I'm going to do, guys, I appreciate you guys coming up.
Yeah.
Where can everybody
hell yeah,
find the
man.
Church of Satire? What all do you guys have coming up, right here in Hanover, PA?
Anyway, man, tell 'em.
Coming up, I guess this is live. I'm used to doing everything in post production.
have
Well-
WCOS tomorrow night.
WCOS in Hanover is every Thursday here at the Church of Satire Comedy Club. This weekend we have Larry Lancaster and Rose Von Shank. Larry's going to headline Friday night. I'll be featuring. Saturday, I think, is Rose Von Shank and Beth Hayden headlining, featuring respectively. Every Monday we have Open Mic Nitro. That's, standard comedy open mic. Come out, 16 spots, 5 minutes.
Always
we
an open
have,
invitation to the Pope.
The Pope,
Wanna
the
beat
Pope,
that?
the Pope could be here. The Queen, we're waiting to hear back from. Aside from that, we have Wednesday shows that kind of just pop up, right? Like this is one of them. We're
this
here
is
tonight on a
one- and what-
Wednesday.
We appreciate it so much, guys.
yeah.
Like we've been looking forward to it. and
Next
that's
Wednesday,
awesome.
we've got Mass Confusion. That's September, I think, the 21st. Mass Confusion is a surprise lineup show, so the lineup's always different. It's not announced ahead of time. You show up, you get 5 comics. They all do 15 minutes or whatever the math is. I don't know.
It's like 185 minutes or something.
Yeah. And I'll tell you guys right now, I don't know any. I know Larry Lancaster and Rose Von Shank are headlining this weekend. I don't know anybody else on the calendar until we get to November 25th, when I myself, Darnell Fuson, will be headlining here at the Church of Satire Comedy Club. Or don't clap.
Everyone
fine.
shush. Everyone shush.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the
fine.
old ladies walk in for Jim.
Tom Nutty, I believe you're opening up.
Yep.
You're featuring.
Yep, I'll be
That night.
featuring for my boy here. So
We've got
come out Black Friday.
couple of Nitro favorites, and Ack will be here. So
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun
it'll
night,
be-
man. We got a great calendar.
Yeah.
People just go to the Church Satire Comedy Club.com, or they can go to any of the social media pages. Monday we got the best open mic for 100 miles. So I mean, people come from really far. We've had Philly
holy
comics,
shit.
we've had DC
Yeah.
comics.
Good guys come
I mean,
from Delaware.
we've
Yeah.
had Delaware comics. So like this is a hot mic. Somebody, I mean, we know what we're doing around here. Everybody that puts the shows on here actually does stand up, so it's kind of unique in that regard. So like at any given point in time, when you walk in here and you see this club doing what they do, like it's being run by comedians in every step of the operation. So like Monday's open mic is really something else. And then Thursdays, like whoever's watching, like if you don't come Thursdays, you're like missing out on something super cool and super fun when we record this WCOS. So like there's lots of cool stuff happening here, but check out the website because the calendar is filling up. Like the rest of the year is booked.
Yeah, that's
So-
churchofsatirecomedyclub.com.
Yeah.
All of our social media is at Not a Real Church. I think we're Church of Satire Comedy Club on YouTube. That's where you can
Yeah.
find WCOS in Hanover.
Facebook, it's Church of Satire Comedy Club too. I think it's Not a Real Church on Instagram.
Right. Anything
then,
that's like a
maybe
dumb
Twitter.
handle. Our handle is Not a Real Church.
I don't know. I don't understand any of this shit.
Yeah.
so-
We could be here all night breaking
Check
it
the
down.
internet. We're there.
Did you guys get the Monday night? The Monday night. Did you like do that?
Did we
off of
get the
Monday
Monday
Nitro?
Night Nitro?
Open Mic Nitro?
Yeah.
That's all right. So Open Mic Nitro is my brainchild. It was actually supposed to debut the first week that we were shut down for COVID.
Okay.
So I announced on like March 14th or some shit of 2020 that next week debuts Open Mic Nitro, and the next week never happens for another year and 6 months.
Oh,
So I had
shit.
a year and 6 months to come up with the best open mic comedy concept. I think Jim said within 100 miles, but I think in all of the country. It's
Yeah, you guys
it-
have it going on. Like,
it's
honestly.
a wrestling influenced mic. Obviously, Monday Nitro, Open Mic Nitro. We're here on Monday nights at 8 on TBS.
Emanating live from the Mall of America for the first one.
We're here. That's it. That's us. Lex Luger will be rolling in, ladies and gentlemen.
Why the hell is he here?
yeah. He's here because we put a ramp out front.
Well, I mean, he will be rolling in.
That's fine.
I mean, he will be rolling in because he's in a wheelchair now.
Yeah,
so.
he's pretty fucked up now. So I feel like I'm just punching down on old Lex. But, I'm not scared of him anymore. He can't put me in a torture rack. So now's my chance to heal it up.
I saw that in all my years in pro wrestling. I was like, man, they're doing that off of Nitro, and I love it. Like,
Yeah.
I love the
Man.
little knock the Nitro. So
Yeah, it's anything I can do to make comedy more like wrestling and wrestling more like comedy is that's my whole jam.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Trust me, 20 years in the wrestling business, I appreciate it. And honestly, you guys have a beautiful venue here. I used to myself wrestle, I forgot what the venue was, but I think it used to be the Galleria or something. It's since closed, but it was right here on Broadway. And there was a company called Groundbreaking Wrestling, and I used to wrestle for them every so often. So, but yeah, I mean, guys, honestly, appreciate you guys having us out.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for having us up.
Oh, without question.
Thanks for having me on my own stage.
Thanks for having us on your stage. And also, I can't help but to notice all of like the cool ass swords and
Oh,
shit
yeah,
that are
tie
back there.
shop.
Like, we crossed through, and like Matt got lost in like a different dimension of
Y'all
swords.
can buy, man. I'll sell you guys. Ty's not here, but that's Link Samurai next door. That's great. It's a cool shop. Ty's a really good friend of ours, so it's just another added weird, cool, bizarre thing that you experience when you come to this cool, unique spot. So
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, make sure everybody come out. Make sure you check out Church of Satire, and make sure you check out all the nice shops, and of course, world famous wieners.
yeah, man.
Across the street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most of the time, world famous wieners come with antibiotics, but not in Hannibal. You know?
Not here.
So and
Just chili.
and what we're going to do momentarily,
Pepto-Bismol.
we're going to have David Gilbert come up. He's going to
Right
tell
on,
us
man.
about his
Yeah,
novel.
man.
And unfortunately, this poor guy, the last time he was on our show, like it was the first podcast he ever did.
Yeah.
And and he had no idea what the fuck to expect. And Matt rattled him so bad. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Thank you. So, thank you. And like Matt, like literally, like we had to. Would you rather? Matt was like, would you rather suck 10 dicks at once or one dick 10 times? So
One dick 10 times.
yeah.
One day. You get comfortable with them. You can start building a rapport. You know.
So
Fucking
Dave,
works out good.
if you want to come on up, man, we'll go ahead and get this rolling. And of course, David Gilbert, you're getting ready. You said it hasn't quite released yet. Your third book, of course. Tell us about the third book.
Emergence of Blood,
Yep.
vampire novel. It's going to be coming out it's going to be out before Halloween. I would say by the 10th of October, perhaps.
By the 10th of October. Okay. And of course, you gave us the amazing artwork. Of course, shout out to Steve Freeman, who does a lot of our stuff and a lot of our designs. And here you can see the whole thing. And it was funny. I kind of joked around when I saw it online that I saw the horse trailer and I was like, "This looks like Oregon Trail. It's
Oregon
about to
Trail,
go
yeah.
horribly wrong." Like, and I feel like that these people are in the horse-drawn carriage and they're being carried into whatever town they're going to, and in Oregon Trail it says you die of dysentery. So I feel like they run into a vampire named Dysentery. He just has at it fucking constantly on all these people. So I'm pretty sure I'm pretty far off from the plot of the book. So what exactly is
Novel,
Okay.
heavy allure, awesome tale.
So it's back in the, of course, last time we had you on, you were talking a little bit about this book when we had you on last time. Like you
Yeah,
said you had an
yeah.
idea. And I remember we went down that whole path of a vampire that is kind of like a junkie, but he's like a junkie
Yes.
for AIDS blood only. And
Right,
he just
right.
goes around and he just searches for people with AIDS and only drinks their blood because that's what he's addicted to. And of course, based off the time period, there's probably not a lot of AIDS around.
Right.
So that was really far from the truth.
Well, the thing was I had to sit there, like we were talking about the COVID.
Yeah.
That's what happened with me. The COVID hit. The book came out in March 2020.
Yeah.
And when it came out, it was like COVID hit right away. Blood and do it that way. So they have a winery where they're bottling blood.
Oh shit! So it's kind of like a bar. Like do they like go to the bar and they just kind
It's
of
a
like
brewery.
yeah
Yeah,
a
it's-
blood brewery.
Yeah.
They just go in and they just put needles in people and
They
just
do.
drip the blood.
They put
High-end hippies.
you can have live meals. They stick taps in the side of their necks and they drain blood into a pitcher and
shit.
serve it warm at your table. If you
Damn.
wanted it that way. Yeah, it's some pretty gruesome stuff in there. It's definitely.
No, it sounds fucking
there's,
delicious. I'm in the Illuminati now. I didn't know if
yeah,
I told you.
yeah.
So
Sounds like I'm now a part of
don't
the
tell
Illuminati.
them. Don't tell them if they're watching.
I hope you copyrighted that because we're stealing the shit out of it.
yeah. It's. And then I'm coming out with Witches next year. I've already got.
Oh,
started.
shit.
I'm working on clowns right now because I want to do this short story of clowns. And I'm telling you, every time we
I
mention
can't fuck with clowns. I ain't looking forward to that show, Welcome to Derry. Fuck that.
You know, I get that everywhere. Every single time I mention I'm doing clowns now, it's like everybody's like, it's like you crossed the line.
Right, we draw the line there.
We were out the other night, me and my wife, and we were talking to her cousin, and we were bringing something up with presidents, and I mentioned John Quincy Adams, and he was like, the serial killer? I was like, do you mean John Wayne Gacy?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. And so now we've been fucking with just texting him the whole time. And I sent him the image of fucking John Wayne Gacy in the clown costume. I was like, John Quincy Adams during his inauguration.
Yep.
Yes.
So, but no, so you're going to have clowns going on, and then you're going to have witches. So, like, with the witches, what direction are you going with that? Of course, the vampires, you know, of course, you have them drinking. You know, you have all kinds of, like, old school elements with it. What time period is the witches going to be? Is it going to be like a newer school time period? Is it going to be...
It's called Witches of the Underground, and it's 1863.
Oh, shit. So they're, like, partying. They're, like, having, like, raves and shit.
Yeah. It's 1863 Gettysburg during the battle and all. That's when it takes place. The whole year of, like, Emancipation Proclamation, straight on through. And, of course, it's Witches of the Underground, so we needed some African deities. That's what we got going on. But also have them battling some Mayan witch and also some folklore here in the area. So it's like the whole story takes place in this area. Hanover and Gettysburg. And
so at any point, are you going to have the witches fight in the Battle of Gettysburg? Like, I'm talking about, like, these guys are fighting each other, and these witches come up, and then they just start firing their fucking legs off with cannons and shit.
Now, which side are the witches fighting for?
Yeah,
That's kind of a big
they're
thing.
battling each other. Yeah, and what they have is there's Camazotz, which is a death bat from South America. It's like a vampire bat, and so they're sort of like being controlled by them. Well, there's like a massive group at it. So during the Civil War battle, of course, they need to eat the souls, and they're going out there and eating the souls of the Civil War soldiers. It's a little bit dark, you know. Maybe we should be talking about it here in the church.
I was just wondering if there was Confederate witches, you know what I mean?
Confederate.
You know what I mean? Like,
Damn racist witches.
Yeah.
They come again.
you can take my soul.
Seriously, no, it's pretty good. It's like that's one thing I've been able to do is be very kind and considerate to modern day affirmations within all my stuff that I do. If you haven't moving forward, that's the only way you're going to get like I noticed like if you're going to get a best picture or something like that in Hollywood, you need to cover all the bases, and I think that's up to the writers to have to do that. You know, just like some people might be so timid about it they can't pull it off. You know, and other people can do it. You know?
Now, are these witches going to be more sexually attracted towards the Union or the Confederacy?
Yeah, which side are they fucking for?
Which side are they fucking?
They do like a man. He's like a 6'8" black man, of course, you know, and they're really into him.
So they're really
he got tricked onto the slave ship, and you know, and they're like the deities really like this guy, you know, so they're like they follow him here and save his ass pretty much.
So
you do more than save
times
it.
have not changed.
No, it's the same.
And I feel like with this, like, and every time you mention vampires, like, I can't help but to think of the Count from Sesame Street. Like, I feel like he had a horrible backstory. Like, he counts because of all like he's
on
kind of
the
like
fucking spectrum.
They rehabbed him. He used to suck the blood of children, but now he's been rehabilitated, and he just counts about all the countless children whose blood he drank.
Like them old dudes in the balcony, you know. It's like that's what he would turn into.
The Count with Asperger's. Dude, I know you've been sitting on that chair for a while. Dude. That's hilarious that you segued into that.
I turn it around sometimes.
And Dave, we had your daughter Kat on not too long ago also, and she was telling us how much of a hunter you were, and she said how she was like skinning all kinds of shit, and we said she said something about you using a crossbow. And I was like,
a regular bow. No, I just use a regular bow.
A regular bow.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck that.
Me and Dave are adults, dude. We don't shoot
Dave doesn't use a
crossbows.
bow. he just fucking uses an arrow. That's it. Like he just creeps up behind a deer and just drives a fucking arrow into like the neck of this deer. Like.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah. Sometimes you're sitting there and the animals are coming right up to you, you know, and you're just like there's a squirrel right there at your feet. How's it going, dude?
And then the LSD wears off.
Yeah.
What was the hardest animal you've killed with a bow?
Oh, just a deer, you know, bucks. Got a couple buck with a bow.
How hard was he?
How hard was he? He was pretty hard.
He was fucking
Donkey
rock
dick hard.
He was rock hard.
I was like,
he a
I'd say
10-pointer.
Yeah, no, I'd say it was a
Sorry,
6-point.
that question aroused my curiosity. I couldn't stop.
They were both hard when it happened. Dave was hard when he did it.
Yep. That's
it's,
mutual combat.
I want to know how many deer you can fit in your asshole.
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm thinking,
Yeah, where was Dave when Jim needed someone to take out that raccoon? Like that
Well,
raccoon staring down the barrel of a fucking shotgun. Meanwhile, Dave could have just been like, and just done. And you could have just rotisserie that fucker right over that.
Just fucking Steven Seagal's. He just comes over and snaps.
You know, 'cause
Just shin kicks it to death.
you know, I grew up in the city. So when I moved to the country, this man that I knew, his son, we were driving around spotting deer, and he said, there's a possum ran across the road, and he said, "Get it, boys!" And he shined his light, you know, and there was like this possum, and so we went up there and we like hit this possum out of the tree, killed this possum, and
that's like a hate crime.
I know, right?
Jesus Christ!
We took it. There's a fur dealer. You just took it right to the fur dealer, and he goes, "That's driving around money, boys." You know.
This
It's
sounds like Red Dead Redemption 2.
I know, right? Well, when you're from the city and you move down there, and it's like that's the kind of things they were doing. You're like, "Whoa, this is like no." You know, it was like really crazy. It was like, but what do you do?
White people, man.
So, like even my brother's like when he moved down to South Carolina, I was like, I went down there and I said, what do you? I was like, down there is like so boring, and I was like, what do you do? And he goes, I said, it's Friday night. He goes, we go to the auction, and then Saturday, what do you do? We go to the flea market.
Jesus,
Man, that's like the most redneck shit ever. How many arrows do you think it will take to take out like a Bigfoot? Like if you were to come face to face, like you're literally staring down fucking Sasquatch.
Term, how many arrows would it take to fell Bigfoot?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you
Fell a Bigfoot. That's what they
did you
call it.
see the new alien movie Prey?
No.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty good, man. That's like my favorite one. And it's all Indians in there. And it's like, and they got some arrows.
Oh no, wait.
And it's like
Prey.
they're trying to take out
that's
alien.
the new Predator movie,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yes. I have.
Or,
seen
yeah,
that.
not
I
Alien,
did
Predator.
not see it.
Yeah.
Blah, but
So.
yeah, Predator. But man, it's awesome. I watched it twice already.
they're just shooting
Dave was
aliens
like, I
with
want to be
arrows.
just
they
like
got-
this girl at the
So
end of
there's
this
like
movie.
bears, and it's like the bears fighting with Predator, and it's like there's.
Oh yeah, fucking spoiler
pretty
for
good
it. If
stuff,
anybody
man.
hasn't seen Prey,
won't say
spoiler.
anything.
When Predator military pressed that fucking bear, I instantly got aroused. I was like, this is great. He's
Thanks.
fucking about to military
Fucking
press slam a
spoiled it.
fucking black bear. Like,
Ooh,
Well, it's
maybe
all
a black
about
bear.
wrestling, like right, and it's like you get up there, and it's like
The
you
ultimate
don't know
warrior's
if you're
that motherfucker.
you don't know if your like opponent has had a bath or not,
Yeah.
a shower, and it's like, and you get up there, and it's like they put you in that headlock, and you're like, oh God, I wish you would have had that shower. Right? That's like kind of thing, you know what I mean? I was thinking that with the Predator and the bear, it's like, I mean.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't.
Ray, have you ever been in that situation where you're just like getting a headlock and you're like, God, this is the greatest smelling man that I've ever
Oh,
wrestled with.
dude, like
Have you ever
I've
seen
been in a
alien in a
headlock.
bear fight without bathing?
Do you
Yeah.
realize that wrestlers' gears are like the smelliest fucking thing you ever
sure.
experience? Because like that's the thing. Like you look at it, it's like
Wrestler
spandex,
suits.
leather, all that. Like you pay a lot of money for that shit.
sure.
Like you just can't throw that shit in a traditional washer.
Did you say wrestlers' gear?
Yes.
I thought you said
I
the
thought he
ear.
said ear. I'm
I know,
sitting
I
here
was
trying
thinking,
to
oh my
fucking
God, you
figure
got
out-
these
no.
big ears with the
There-
earwax.
their
Yeah.
gear, like you'll unzip the bag, and then all of a sudden the smell will just fucking
sure, yeah.
consume the entire locker room. But no, I've had more so bigger guys, like guys that are like 300, 400 pounds, put me in a headlock,
That can't take a
and I'm just kind of,
Not everywhere, anyway.
that I'm just kind of like, yeah, this sucks. Like almost to the point to where you almost pass out. Like you're in a head, and mind you, like you're in a headlock. You're both sweating. So not only does this guy smell like shit, but he's also like sweating all over like the side of your face, and it's getting in your like eyes and your mouth. And you're just like, yeah,
Sounds like
I'm
sex.
gonna get a staph infection in my eye. Like, this is what's gonna fucking happen. Like,
Sounds like sex with
Never
Lizzo,
mind the
dude.
scissors, right? Never mind any scissors, right?
Yeah, fucking scissor me timbers, dog.
now, Dave, what do you think with all the hunting you've done? What's the worst smell? Like, have you ever had anything that just had like just an odor that you were like, this is just completely bad?
Well, yeah, of course, dead animals. You know, you come across something like
Yeah, dude, dead animals smell. Can't believe you even asked that. Fucking stupid.
Like,
Smells like Dundalk.
yeah.
yeah, why does it
Stupid,
smell like
dude.
the gold domes in Dundalk?
Right.
Well, down your way, there's like these huge rats, right? You probably you should
We
have
have,
a
like,
you should have
the
a
rat-
go.
we
They're
have,
called
like, a
squeegee workers, dude.
Yeah, and that too.
They're called squeegee
Pull
workers.
up and they
That's a
wash your
touchy
windows
subject.
for you.
That's probably what the
You
rats
dip
eat.
'em in
It's like
cheese.
if those squeegee workers ain't working hard enough and they're getting skinny, I'm thinking, you know, the rats are taking them out.
Oh, yeah.
You don't give them cheese, they fuck your car up.
I always wondered, do rats actually eat cheese?
I think they eat every fucking thing else,
Well, yeah,
including
they literally
cheese.
do eat everything, but I've always wondered about that.
I can't imagine
Like
like they're gonna
cheese.
stop at cheese. Like they don't find a burger
Well, I
with
mean,
cheese
you
on
look,
it.
at, you look at it like
Wondered
this in the medieval where they would put like a device like at your stomach and like agitate the rats.
Yeah.
And those fuckers would like eat right fucking through you.
They
like,
did it on Fast and the Furious, dude.
Oh yeah.
There's some serious rats in my novel coming
Too
up.
Fast,
Mm.
Too Furious, the best one.
Fuck you.
What?
What? What?
Yeah.
There's probably
Jeez,
people
everybody
that
knows
knows
Tokyo
rats.
Yeah,
Drift's
that
the
was
best one.
satire.
Right.
You should have been asking about eating rats, you know.
Have
'Cause
you
I'm
ate a
sure,
rat before?
No, but down there where you're at, I'm sure there's some of them homeless folks probably do.
Yeah.
Probably
I'm
need
sure.
it.
Right.
I'm sure. Like some of those like
Like
Coke.
a coyote, they eat it ass first.
It's the way I eat everything, dude.
You should interview
Fuck
some
yeah.
of those window washers, one or two of them,
What's that?
squeegee workers. You should interview some squeegee workers. What
No,
the?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't have any money to give them.
That'll be a Zoom episode.
I was like, when I came down to visit you, it's just like this. I mean, it was like there they were. Like, I was lost, and I kept passing the same guy. I was like, this is the same guy. I was like, okay, so I know. I was like, there's like 3 or 4 guys. He didn't ask me for money the second and third time, you know.
Did you ask him for directions?
No, I was
Dave's
lost
like,
big
I
time
want to
down
meet those squeegee workers. I want to skin them.
Well,
Wanna be in
one
a
of the kids
boat?
is like, I
wear
thought he
their
was going to
skin.
steal my stuff right out of my car.
They would do that. They're just working. They're hard
Yeah, I
working.
was like,
Yeah.
this one kid, he was like looking right in my. I said, yeah. I was like thinking he's going to reach in there. I was like, well, I'll put the window up on him.
You had your bow in the car, didn't you? Like you
Yeah,
were just
my
waiting for
phone.
someone to reach. You're like, I wish a motherfucker
right.
would.
That's right.
Like how? Oh, like, do you have the precision to where like you could do a drive-by with a bow and arrow?
No, but that would be cool. That would be cool.
Like just imagine, like you just go by
Like
your
a James Bond type of car or something, you know? You'd have like arrows. Shoot, 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 shoot.
I mean, I know there's Native Americans and samurais and shit. They can ride horseback and shoot arrows with
Yeah.
precision.
He's just like fucking.
So
That's what they say, dude. Like, come on. When's the last time you saw samurais?
yeah, you're right. The last time I watched like Ninja
Fucking
Turtles.
Mulan. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he's thinking of fucking Turtles in Time, Ninja Turtles
Turtles in
3.
Time.
like you never believe it, guys. Back in the day, turtles used to fight like men.
Ninja Turtles.
Dave just sits there like he fucking just like Hawkeye, just fucking taking people like squeegee workers like just try to fucking get money out of him, and he's just fucking Hawkeyeing the shit.
I miss
Out of
coming
every
down there to
single one of them.
Baltimore, though. I got to
Back.
come back down there.
The whole fucking arsenal of bows and arrows.
Well, I miss coming down there, you know? It's like, Baltimore's awesome.
Cubans coming down there. No,
Yeah.
I do.
taking out.
I ain't had a good one in years.
Dave's like, I had to leave from that area.
Yeah.
The last one I got with the arrow. He didn't die all the
He
way.
moved out of there and he instantly wrote a book about Confederate witches.
And now they got all those,
That was his inspiration.
you know, they always have, there's like way more cameras down there than last time I was
Oh
down
yeah,
there.
people are always watching.
Even-
Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
looking for you.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Steven was on.
You know
He just
how
got
hard
hit
it
by
is?
that camera.
Oh yeah, the cameras on 83 or
Yeah,
whatever.
he says they're all over the place.
Yeah. They said their fucking
all
Dave
over
gives
the
them a
place.
finger with a bow and arrow in his fucking hand and shit. Like fucking.
Well, I thought I was going to get it on the turnpike. It took me 7 weeks to get my fine. I was like, well, oh my God. It was like every day I was thinking, I think I was doing 96 in the work zone.
Trying to get as far away from that body
was
you
like,
threw over the side.
It was like 7 weeks went by, and they like sent me the toll. The toll alone, right? Going
7
down the
weeks went
turnpike,
by,
that's
and then they stopped
64
asking
bucks.
questions.
When did that happen?
This is a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay. You're in the clear.
64 bucks for
Yeah, dude.
just drive down the turnpike and back. I mean,
But look, if somebody offered you to get rid of a body for $64,
that would be worth it.
Oh,
You
I
would do it.
I would. 100%. 100%.
I'm paying that toll. You know? Every time.
No wonder
I'd
the
be the
Illuminati's
undercutting
calling
everybody.
at you.
I'll do a 63, motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah.
You stuff it in there, I'll drive, and I'll just drop it off.
That's why the Illuminati's after you talking about these things.
Look, man, I'm just kicking
Well,
you guys some knowledge. That's all.
I mean, we talked about the squeegee kids. What about the people that sell like water and drinks and shit? Like, do you think there's like a turf war for that? Like,
No.
for like the corners, because you see them on the corners everywhere in Baltimore. And it's like there's got to be like some sort of like, stepping on somebody's toes, or else somebody's,
I think they got like a mutual agreement. You know what I mean? They're not.
That's the best though. Like I love pulling up and like the guys like don't fucking clean my windows, but give me like a
Right,
cold water.
sell me a fucking apple. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
That's what I was just wanting. I got off the highway. I was like, this motherfucker's got apples. Fuck, I'll take 2, dog. Like, you know what I mean?
Meanwhile, if you give an
That's
apple
what they
to a
should do.
junkie, they're gonna holler that bitch out and smoke
Absolutely.
crack out of it.
No, I see people.
Junkies just don't appreciate apples the way other people do. You know?
They sell flowers. That's all
They
flowers.
sell flowers, water bottles, fruit. I mean, those
There-
fucking TVs.
There was a guy up near my work that no matter what time of year it wasn't even around the 4th of July. He always just sold flags and flowers. Like he was just always on the
Flags and
corner,
flowers.
just in White March, just flags and flowers.
Yeah, dude,
It was
I've
just
never
kinda-
understood that. Like even
Yeah.
the Latinos that fucking sell the flowers like almost
Why-
every other day.
Why do they
and
gotta
you're
be Latino? Racist ass bitch.
no, it's just because they are. But I'm just saying. But who the fuck is giving their wife or their significant other flowers that much?
Yeah, on like a
Fuck
random
that.
on like a random Saturday.
Yeah, fuck that.
Where do they get them from?
I don't know.
Like, they've
Like,
got a fucking
I feel
lot.
like
Probably
they-
the poppy fields. But
I feel like they go to Walmart and like buy them on like the flowers are about to die tomorrow,
Yeah, possibly.
and they buy them on clearance, and then they're just kind of like, okay, yeah.
Suburbs.
take
I'm
all
thinking
of 'em.
pretty good
suburbs.
fucking hustle.
Yeah.
I had to like quit my day job.
And now Matt's phone is broken.
It's been broken.
Where's Lilly?
So Dave, where can everybody find your new book and all the other novels as well?
All my novels are everywhere. Everywhere. books
They're
are sold.
everywhere. You
Fucking
walk-
look
you walk-
everywhere,
you
people.
walk
Everywhere
downstairs
you
in the
books are
sex
sold.
dungeon, boom, there they fucking
They're
are.
already in your house.
It would not- They could be. They could be within.
Check your
hours.
pillowcase.
They wake up Dave's with a fucking bow and arrow near their face. You're gonna buy my motherfucking book.
Where are your books? Everywhere.
Yeah, they are. So everywhere books are sold, you can get them Amazon, digital platforms, other digital platforms, Apple products, whatever, eBay, and worldwide. Starting to really pick up a little bit here, which is like after COVID. After COVID was a pain in the ass. So now it's
People
coming
coming out of
around.
COVID really have a deep desire for Confederate witches, I feel like.
They
You
do.
know.
Yeah,
And
we
vampires.
need a Confederate witch.
These-
That's what
um,
we need in our life.
Seems like vampires is a big deal, ever since I started doing the vampires and bringing that up. It's
Yes,
like through
vampires,
off the charts,
werewolves.
people are really into it. I'm gonna go with the werewolves eventually. I don't know if I ever told you this. I plan on being a literary artist of the decade.
I thought you were gonna say you plan on being a werewolf, and I was gonna say that's fucking awesome.
I know that sounds like
Inspired to
just
become a
little
werewolf.
old me to be the literary artist of the decade. Who could do that, right? Well, I started in March of 2020. I plan on putting something out every year.
There you go.
It's like sooner or later, it's like you're gonna get sick of hearing me. You're gonna read my shit.
There you go. You gotta
Yeah,
control
yeah
the
Dave,
algorithm.
Dave already said down there that he killed his dog, and he just wore its fur, and he's like, I just want to be a werewolf now.
And I got something for werewolves. I think this is going to be pretty interesting. I don't go with that.
Can it be
Lincoln
like
stuff.
can it be like werewolves with like samurai swords or some
Yeah.
shit like
Well,
that? Like,
there's this vampire novel got some serious swordplay in it. There's
is there a lot of sex?
there's wars. Of course, it's vampires, sex and coffins.
That's what they
It's
do,
some serious.
dude.
It's golf, man. It's goth as can be. Lots of. Well, what would a vampire
How
do?
much sex is in that book?
I don't know, man. Serious amounts. There's like
The first page.
I would say that's something.
The first 19 chapters
yeah.
is just a big
It
vampire
falls
orgy.
into it, but it's no, it's always some sex and vampire novels. It's
Page
shocking.
1. We was fucking.
You know what? You should have called it like Bram Stoker's vampires. That's what you should have called it.
Well, today this is really cool. Today I saw one of my friend that I know. He finally finished reading *A Serpent's Love*, and he says, "I'm going to give you 5 stars." But he like put the post on Facebook, and next to it was a cigarette pack. Loved the book, Dave, and I'm thinking, you know what? Because that's some serious. He needs a cigarette pack. It's
Fuck
way
yeah.
better than a 5-star.
Chapter 8 is stuck together forever.
And of course, Steve designed your book cover,
Yeah,
and you were telling
Steve.
us something that Steve got hurt
Yeah,
at
my
your house. Like, how the hell did that happen?
He stepped on the nail. He stepped on.
He didn't. You were firing like a nail. Like that was a
No, it's
fucking
like
arrow.
rusty
No, he's.
arrow.
You know how it's like the old house. You know, it was a 1900 house, and you know how like when these old houses they say, "Oh, what could be haunted?" You start doing the renovations. You start doing renovations, and things happen.
He steps over the
And
dead
yeah,
dog, the
he's-
dead deer, all that
He
shit.
thought
Spend
Steve was a
time.
vampire and tried to stake him.
Time's
Let's
going
not lie
by, man,
here.
and he's just getting around. Well, sadly, I started dating this holistics doctor, and she came to my house, and she won't see me anymore. She says your house is negative, and that's a
She sounds
reflection of
fucking
you.
crazy.
And I was thinking, wow, I know.
Whoa.
Am I the red flag? You know, I must be. It's like my house is so negative that how negative is it?
Fuck these bitches nowadays. They're all
People
about the,
won't date me. Everybody gets hurt.
I understand. They're all about the you're so negative. I feel your negative energy. Bitch, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
Even my daughter, you know, she does those stones. She has all these stones.
Ugh.
You know
like
what I'm talking about.
I know what
like
you're
power
talking
stone.
about.
And she's like saying,
is it
this
like
house has-
Thanos' stone?
There is
Like,
something in here. I could burn some sage. I'm like, leave the shit alone, you know.
They like
Mess with it,
sage.
man. I never see the
Dave's like,
things
I want
everybody
this.
does
I
for
want
me."
this ghost to have sex with me. All right, get out of here.
Right.
I don't know what's going on, but it's like, yeah, it's real life horror is a lot worse. I mean,
Oh my God, there's this ghostly plasma on the floor. Well, that's not plasma, baby.
raccoons in the
Yeah.
garage and stuff.
That's not ectoplasm. You see.
That's not ectoplasma, baby.
Dave's just like, I woke up and I tasted a weird taste. Like I don't know what it
Yeah.
was.
You can call me
Tastes
Slimer.
like vitamins or donkey.
Dave wakes up. He has a fucking severed donkey penis on his fucking face, just fucking laying there. He's like, where the fuck did this come from? Like,
It's the
huh?
ghost of penis past.
The ghost of penis past. I like that.
So, Dave, now you need to write a book on this guy that's like cutting off all these donkeys' dicks. Like, I mean, like I feel like a whole novel could be written from this, like the evolution to the execution.
No, there's
to
already a podcast.
Yes, and unfortunately, it is ours.
Right.
It's werewolves, right? That's just cutting off these donkey penises. But what's that fucking?
It's Edward
fucking thing
Scissorhands.
From the '80s. Was it Alvin?
Alvin.
Do you remember that fucking?
Simon.
What is that? What?
Theodore.
No.
No.
I was thinking Alvin
They're
and
the chipmunks.
No.
Ooh, ow.
Are you talking about Alf?
Alf.
Alf.
Right. And
How the
Alf-
fuck did you get Alvin out of Alf?
Shut your fucking face.
I'm still trying to figure out why Alf's eating donkey dicks.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. He was framed. And there you go.
Yeah,
It's the
it's-
werewolves
Yeah.
eating donkey dicks.
This
think-
is like being on LSD for real. That's how I feel.
I'm thinking Alf and E.T. had something in common, really. It's like it seemed like the same story.
Yeah, they were fucking. Everything comes back to
You
that.
guys keep dropping your phone, so phone home.
So-
Hey.
So when are you gonna write, like, it's gonna be a novel / autobiography of you murdering the squeegee workers?
Yeah, I don't know about all that. but-
Because I mean, we just talked about it. I mean, it's fine if you're driving around plugging
is a
the
family
squeegee
show,
workers
isn't
with
it?
arrows.
Isn't this a family show?
This is the farthest thing from a family show.
No, this is not a family show.
We're in a church. For God's sakes.
It's not a real church, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's pews.
Yeah.
I could probably could probably
There's
do
probably
something
been-
with pews.
Oh yeah.
Dave's
What
like,
are you talking
Dave's like, I felt the awful things that have happened on
in,
these
in,
pews.
in my witch story, there's
Do
this,
you,
there's
you
some
feel
serious.
so you feel the negativity from the pews? Is that what you're
Yeah.
trying to tell me?
No, it's like in my
Have
my
you
witch
tried
story,
throwing
I-
a rock at it?
Throw a crystal at it.
Right.
Burn
Get
some
away
sage
from
or
me.
burn some sage.
Dave just goes home. They had these pews, and I don't know. Like I felt kind of uneasy. It wasn't the show that made me uneasy. It was these pews.
Well, there's no place that has pews that you could like do a commercial. This would be a great place to do a commercial. Have Steven come down here and do a commercial for my witch novel because there's lots of pews in this witch novel. Because during the Underground Railroad, you have like church groups.
Can during a commercial, can there be like a bunch of like hot naked witches like just all over the pews and shit?
The thing is, I try to invade people's genres. So I was like, I'm going to invade historical fiction, right? But I mean, slaves running around free in a plantation. I mean, it's just like I just couldn't help myself. It has to be.
That's
romance.
exactly
That's
how I
right
feel
there. It's gotta be
whenever I see
historical
that.
romance, right? So that's what I did. It's like there they are running around the.
Well, I'm not
it's
touching
like,
that
we
one.
got to have some historical romance.
Of course.
Hey, I just can't help myself.
So
That's fucking great.
I meant to bring this up earlier. Is that anytime I do like a wrestling show or something like this, like anytime I'm in like a theater environment or anything like that, like I have this unreasonable fear that the ghost of John Wilkes Booth is out there still, and like he wants to kill. And just at some point, he's just going to show up, and unfortunately, it's going to be me. And he's just going to yell Lincoln and just fucking blow my fucking brains
It's
out.
just gonna be a ghost
and my head
load,
opens
dude.
up like the fucking Demigorgon or some shit like that. Like
Just a little ghost load on the back of the head. That's all you got. You know?
My family had a table. It had JWB in it, and it was like they thought that it was John Wilkes Booth.
Oh, shit.
Had come through the town, and this
were
was
you
a
John
table
Wilkes
that
Booth
was
in a
around
different
there.
life?
Well, they had to check
You
out
killed
to see
Lincoln,
if it
didn't
was
you?
him or not, and they said that's not him, man. It's just
Just somebody else.
Dave's like, yeah, screw using that gun. Just use a fucking bow and arrow.
Right.
Like, let's
Yep.
get this shit fucking.
What are we
over with.
doing?
Yeah, what are we doing here? So, Dave, anyways, where can everybody find you and find your books if they want to order them and all that good fun
Everywhere, dude.
stuff?
Everywhere.
Yes,
everywhere, bro. But
You're gonna wake up and there's gonna be a book on your fucking pillow.
It's already there.
It could be if you would order your woman a book, it would be there. But and she would like these things, It's like a little bit. I was like, instead of 5 stars, I get cigarette packs.
Hell yeah.
It's like, that's some really good stuff there. I enjoyed that. That was like awesome.
Well, make sure you get out, pick up Dave's newest book, pick up some of his other books. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up right here at the Church of Satire. Of course, thanks to Jim, Darnell, Dave, yourself for being on the show. For our live episodes, we're going to take a little bit of a hiatus. I'm on vacation for a couple of days, so it's probably going to be about 10, 11 days or so before we're live again. We'll be back on September 27th right here on YouTube Live, and our featured guest will be former WWE superstar, a man that I go way back with, James Ellsworth. So he will be on the show on September 27th, and then all of our October guests will be announced somewhere around that time frame as well. So once again, thank you for joining us on the Happy Hour podcast. Thanks to the Church of Satire, and we will see you guys next time.
Hell yeah.
Thanks.
Dave's books are everywhere.
Everywhere. In the garage. Raccoons.